The South Okanagan Similkameen National Park Network is a broad-based network of like-minded individuals and organizations of local and national scope, supporting a national park to help conserve our treasure of native plants and animals while enriching people's lives. In October 2003, federal and provincial governments signed a Memorandum of Understanding to assess feasibility of a new national park in the South Okanagan Similkameen to represent ecosystems of Canada's Natural Region 3. Let's count the ways a South Okanagan Similkameen National Park will be good for nature, good for the land, and good for people. Being 650 square kilometers, the park concept is large enough to emulate natural ecosystem processes. Habitats within the park will be managed to highest ecological standards. It will bring enhanced funding for management of species at risk. Research capacity and research funding will be enhanced, as will collaboration with schools, colleges, and universities, such as University of British Columbia, Okanagan. Critically, that means more researchers with better budgets. Habitat management techniques developed within the park will benefit the surrounding buffer zone. It will be good for weed control inside the park and adjacent to the park. It will be good for wildfire control. Using prescribed burns is good for ecosystems, for forest insect control, and for public safety. A core of park with a supportive buffer zone may qualify this region for global recognition as a world biosphere. It will contribute substantially to completion of Canada's national parks system, with a park encompassing the broadest sampling of biodiversity occurring in Natural Region 3. It will finally complete an east-west ecological cross-section of our continent's Pacific Northwest, from driest dry to wettest wet. It will foster international conservation collaboration with adjacent Washington state. It will be a keystone in a north-south corridor crucial for central BC's ecological adaptation to climate change. The South Okanagan Similkameen National Park will be good for security of the land. The park concept core was recognized by the LRMP as having ecological values needing protection. National park designation is more secure than provincial designations. It will provide access to a national pool of experts in ecosystem management. It will create benchmarks of natural habitat to which management practice elsewhere can be compared, including livestock grazing prescriptions, and is thus good for ranchers. It will protect the headwaters and basins of community watersheds. The South Okanagan Similkameen National Park will be good for people. A number of public opinion polls show it will provide what a majority of local residents want. By preserving natural viewscapes, it will be good for the quality of life of residents and of visitors. Land use conflicts will be resolved by a local park management advisory committee. It will be good for public education, both ecological education and cultural education. Facing ever more restricted access due to proliferating land fragmentation, it will be good for people who want to sustain backcountry recreation. No other place in BC warrants conservation more than the South Okanagan Similkameen. It'll be good for those deer hunters that are conservationists before they are hunters. It will profile contributions of ranching culture, and for ranches within the park concept area, it'll maintain career-long investment in rangeland stewardship, as well as enrich the real estate market. For First Nations, it will enshrine rights, profile contributions of Aboriginal culture, and provide employment opportunities. Real-world experience shows a South Okanagan Similkameen National Park will be good for business owners and for employees. If resultant employment was distributed evenly throughout the first 10-year period, jobs created by this national park would be about 80 full-time jobs. Investments, more than $70 million. Income, more than $50 million. Expenditures, $120 million. And tax revenues, about $40 million. So, what good is a national park? These have been the very many ways a national park here would be good. Whether you are in business, or a recreationist, or a nature lover wanting to conserve cherished natural values for you and your kids to enjoy, you can see there are many potential benefits to a national park here. A national park here would be good for nature, good for the land, and good for people. The South Okanagan Similkameen National Park Network urges you to support the national park proposal. Remember, we are at a crossroads. This is a one-time only opportunity to achieve this lasting legacy for our children and for the future. If ultimately established, a national park here will be a tribute to the foresight of those dedicated people that helped bring it to pass. A national park here will become a cherished neighbor in our ecological, economic, and cultural landscape. Please join the majority of locals and lend your voice to those helping to ensure this opportunity is not forfeit. Visit this website for a link to sign a petition supporting establishment of the South Okanagan Similkameen National Park.